Hello again from Charlotte. Of course, remember, North Carolina is a battleground state. If there's another battleground state of importance, it's the one just to the north, Virginia, and we happen to have the state's. What are you, junior or
I'm
senior?
junior
I forget.
senator.
You still
I'll
are the
soon be
junior senator.
senior.
Sooner will be
4
senior.
months
That's
senior.
why I'm getting confused. Mark Warner, Democratic senator from Virginia. Great to see you, former
Nice to
governor.
see you.
Curious, are you hearing what you think Virginia voters need to hear at this convention? And what does the president and the vice president have to say tomorrow night to convince those undecideds in the Commonwealth?
Well, first of all, I'm seeing a heck of a lot of energy from Virginia and other delegations I've visited with. I was concerned that there might have been a letdown from 2008. I think the energy level is extraordinarily high. Second, I heard last night, I think something that really resonates with a lot of folks, undecided and others, that we can't, government can't, we can't, nobody can guarantee people's success, but everybody ought to get a fair shot. And if you work hard in this country, and we heard those stories from both Mayor Castro and from the First Lady last night, I thought they were very powerful. I think what we need to hear on Wednesday and Thursday, and I think we heard some of this again last night, is a bit of setting the record straight, reminding folks that where we were 4 years ago.
You're a business guy. You made your living there in Northern Virginia. The region, the D.C. region, could be uniquely affected in the coming months with these budget cuts that are in place, and you guys haven't come up with an alternative, so everyone is sort of on pace. What do your old contacts, what do your supporters tell you about this? I mean,
Well,
clearly they're fearful, and I know there's a lot of concern about whether they have to alert their workers about possible layoffs.
You know, I think some of those companies who are trying to alert workers early on are frankly maybe way ahead of the game in terms of both legal requirements and in terms of appropriate response. You know, but I think we need to get rid of sequestration. What I don't think we should do, though, which is the across-the-board defense cuts, as well as some of the health care cuts. But what we cannot do, and this is what is so extraordinarily irresponsible from some of the folks on the other side, is simply kick the can, extend everything one more time. Yesterday we hit $16 trillion in debt.
Right.
We had $4 billion a day. Even for Washington, that's a lot of dough.
You rattled off 4 or 5 different agreements that have sort of been put together, frameworks. You were part of at least 2 of them. Should we be working off of those ones, or is there yet another one possibly to be inserted into this?
If there is a better plan, I'm wide open for it. But I think it's compelling to me that all of the plans have had the same components. You got to deal with some levels of spending. You got to look over a period of time at some level of entitlement reform. You got to generate more revenues.
Right.
You know, it's business 101. And you've got to do this in a way that phases in without dramatic disruptions to the economy.
Do you enjoy being a senator?
There have been some times I've been pretty frustrated. I mean, the thing when I was a business guy or when I was governor, every week at the end of the week, it might not have been a good week, but I felt like I moved the ball. There are weeks that I get concerned that we're not moving the ball, but the issues here, nothing's more important.
Because you are keeping a schedule at this convention that suggests you're looking ahead. You spoke with the Iowa delegation, among others, today. 4 years ago, you opted out of this presidential campaign, cited your family and some other concerns. How does the decision-making process change 4 years later? What will you be factoring in?
Listen, most important thing I can do right now, value add to, I think, this political process, trying to get our country back on the right path, is help wrestle to the ground this debt and deficit deal and lay out, try to work, I hope, with President Obama, if not with President-elect Romney, but I firmly believe President Obama, you know, on a plan for the country on how we're going to stay competitive with the rest of the world. Now, I'll make, you know, I've got a luxury or blessings that some of my colleagues don't have, you know.
You live across the river from the
live across
Capitol,
the river from
among
the
other
Capitol. I get to
things.
sleep at home each night, you know. I got a great family, and I did my business, had some business success before I went into this. That gives me choices and options that other folks don't have. I mean, it's one of the things, quite honestly, that has given me such added respect for people like Dick Durbin, and my partner Saxby Chambliss, and Mike Crapo, who've been part of our Gang of Six, because these are guys who spent their whole career in public life, and they're putting it all on the line to try to get this debt and deficit deal done.
If miraculously a deal is cut, say, in the next 6 months, can you step back and say, I'd like to go run again for Virginia governor because I helped cut this deal, or I want to go and mount a presidential
Listen, I think
campaign?
I owe a real obligation to to folks in Virginia and elsewhere to make those decisions a lot sooner than later.
Can you quell that rumor, though, that you want to go back and run for governor?
I'm not going to quell anything. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be focused on for the next 63 days. Re-electing Barack Obama, electing Tim Kaine, helping our congressional guys do well, and continue to make sure that we got this a plan ready for, I hope, President-elect Obama, re-elected President Obama right after the election.